Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics.
Hey, Peter with the Seattle Mariners.
Jermaine Kearse.
Cliff Averill.
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you with another live stream with basking in the victory, the upset, the didn't think it could happen. Seahawks take it down in dominating fashion, the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football yesterday. And so, last week I had Philadehlia on and we were talking about, this game. We had our little rap battle. And now it's time to kind of come together after the game and talk about what went right and what went wrong. So let's bring in, without further ado, Philadehlia. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Norb. Thanks for having me on so I can just, twist the knife a little bit more after that loss. But I have a lot to say still. You might be surprised.
Okay.
After this surprising loss in my eyes to the Seahawks.
Well, I think we both have a lot to say because this game went probably the way nobody expected it to. Certainly the pundits and the experts, nobody picked this game for the Seahawks to win, for one. Secondly, not by 2 touchdown score. So I guess you're the guest. You're the one who suffered the loss, so I'm going to give you the stage first and let you get some of your thoughts out while we have people on the chat already blasting away. Again, if you want to call in and be part of the show, the number is here, 515-739-1219. Enter the code 696153, and you'll be put into the queue. And again, just stay there because I will answer the calls in the order they're received. So if you don't stay along there, I'm not going to get to you. So just hang on, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. I'd say we'll go for maybe an hour or so. So we'll try to make this thing count. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead, Dahlia, and let's hear what you got to say.
There are 5 participants in the conference.
Okay, here we go, guys. First things first, I gotta say congrats to Norb and all of you 12. I gotta respect what your team does. Like, year after year after year that we face you guys, you are just the tougher team. And last night proved a lot, that you guys are definitely not a team to be overlooked no matter what the circumstances are. So respect. I respect that. But I will say that, there was a key moment that made that win for you guys possible. And when we were talking a few days ago, about this matchup, I said, here's what it's going to take if the Seahawks could beat the Eagles. And it was going to take something that's going to mentally screw with Carson Wentz. Now, Wentz has made mistakes before, and it was going to take something big that would kind of throw his game off. And I really think the one play that determined the outcome of this game was him fumbling it into the end zone for that touchback where the Eagles were on pace to do what they normally do, take over that second half, and they were about to do it. And had it been another player to do that, to make that mistake, Wentz would have been cool because he wouldn't have felt guilty and had to take ownership for that, and he would have helped motivate that player to get over it. But it was Wentz, and when he did that, that was that mental glitch that y'all needed, and it worked. And there was still a few moments where I thought we could come back and get it, but y'all are a tough team, especially in Seattle, and that's that. So I'm taking this as a learning loss. And now it's time to now we know what we're working with, and hopefully this game will prepare us for the postseason where there's a good chance we'll face y'all. So.
I agree. There is a good chance. Well, I have to agree. With a lot of the points you said there, I do believe the turning point was definitely Carson Wentz's fumble into the end zone. I mean, you guys were going in for what would have been a tying score. Momentum would have certainly shifted into you guys' favor at that point. But instead, you get the touchback to turn over to us. We score again. Instead of a tie game, it's now back to a 14-point swing. And I agree. I think that was the turning point. Now, whether it went into his head at that point, I don't know about that. In my opinion, now there's a lot of things. We'll have to get to the breakdown of this, but what my assessment was, and I was trying to look at this, obviously there's a lot I credit to the Seahawks for getting this win done, but I was trying to look at what did the Eagles not do right to not do what they usually do in games that they've won in this 9-game streak that you guys have had. And my assessment was, it seemed to me that Philly came out with, I would say, it felt like a very conservative game plan, because you guys you knew our secondary situation. Everybody knows about that. And I was so surprised that you guys weren't throwing the ball more down the field, stretching the field, testing out the secondary. I felt you were very conservative. A lot of runs, a lot of short passes to the sidelines, and maybe the 5 to 7 yard variety, which was working. But this was my take, is that my guess is that, your coach was listening to me on our chat last week, and when I mentioned that the thing that would take you guys down would be if you turn the ball over or take sacks, and something of that magnitude would cause us to get momentum. Otherwise, head to head, I think you guys kind of had the advantage on us. So maybe they didn't want to risk a sack. They didn't want to risk throwing it down an interception, going downfield, and putting the hands of the ball into the hands of Earl Thomas. So maybe they thought, let's just go conservative on the passing and let's just run the ball. But what you guys weren't ready for is that this run defense is not like any other out there. We may be hurting the secondary, but as you guys discovered soon, our front 7 is pretty damn good. And when we played the Rams back several weeks ago, they were the top flying #1 offense with the best running game. We shut that down. You guys came in with almost the exact same expectation. We shut that down too. So I felt like you guys were expecting to be able to just run the ball and just kind of keep away and just kind of do what has worked before. And I think when the run wasn't working, then we started to actually have our offense get off to an early start, which I said last week also that I think that was going to be a key. We had to start strong and score early, which we had not done all season, and we finally did it. We finally got 4 quarters of good offensive play. Defense stood up, and anyway, it just felt a little bit like you guys played conservatively and allowed us to kind of get off to an early scoring start, and that to me was what set the tone of the game, because you guys were playing from behind from the beginning, and it never let up. So that was what I thought was really the reason for you guys is kind of getting off the wrong foot, and then of course that pivotal point where it could have gone the other way, ball bounced our way fortunately, and we got it. So that's kind of my take on the Philly approach from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I thought, especially in the beginning, we were being really conservative, and there were some 4th downs where early on that in previous games, Doug Peterson's gone for it. We've been really good, especially those 4th and 1s, just doing a quarterback sneak, getting Wentz through and converting and just kind of keeping that momentum going to get points quick, early in the game. And he didn't do that. And there were a couple of challenges too where, I don't know, that he could have been more. Well, that was in the 4th quarter. That one lateral pass that Wilson made, that was another game changer right there. So there was a few moments where he just didn't, our guys just didn't, our coach didn't make those right calls in the right moment. And I think your team coming out hot, that kind of threw everything off maybe, but it's just your team plays up to the competition, and unfortunately for the Eagles, we were the top team that everyone was looking at. And when the Seahawks face that type of team, they bring their A game. Like, they'll play like they haven't played before. And, we saw it. We saw what you guys are made of. And one thing I'm concerned about is this may expose a little bit of, the Eagles in the sense where you guys were effective in stopping our run game. And, we made some mistakes that maybe other teams might be picking up on, but hopefully our team's gonna, take this as a lesson, learn, and not be so conservative, man. Just keep doing what's working. You know, that's all they really have to do. Keep doing what works. Don't second guess, and just play hard, intense, aggressive the entire game through. So.
All right. Well, we're going to go to the calls now here, but I do want to say that, you know, that now that this game's behind us, we are big time Seahawk fans all the way behind Philly. EAGLES Eagles, go get those Rams. Take them down, baby, because take all the frustrations from last night and channel your anger onto those Rams because, like I said last week, do us all a favor. Lose to us on Sunday night, go beat the crap out of the Rams next week. So part one is done. We appreciate that. And now go take care of part two, and we'll be very, very happy.
I'm looking forward to that. Now, one thing, you know, I'm going to give you my quick assessment on this matchup where I said the Seahawks and the Rams are the biggest threat. You know, those are going to be two tough teams. We already lost to one of the tough teams. And have you guys played them already?
We did. We beat them in LA. Barely.
You beat them?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Barely. So it's a close game. All right. So it's going to be a tough matchup. And the Eagles are actually, they flew from Seattle that night, Sunday night, to Los Angeles, and they're staying in like the Anaheim area right now the entire week. So one of my concerns about this matchup is that they're kind of out of their element, and they're going to be in the city of distractions. You know, like you have these pro football players, you have celebrities that are going to want to call them up, be like, yo, you know, come out to lunch or this and that. And, you know, that's going to be so tempting for a team to get distracted this entire week in a city, you know, that's like a playground for an NFL player.
I don't think it's a good idea. When I first heard they were going to do that, I thought, you know, I've heard of teams doing that before just to save the going back coast to coast. But now you're living out of your suitcase. You're in a hotel in some strange practice facility. I don't think it's a good idea. Personally, my feeling.
You know, after one of their first losses in a while, so.
You know. But we'll see. But I'm pulling for you guys to take care of business down there. So we'll see what happens. But hey, let's go to the phone lines and see what the callers have to say. So let's start here with what I think is a familiar face. Tell me this is David Sleet of Sports Live in the ATL.
Man, you know it. How you doing, Delia?
What up, Corey? How you doing?
Not much. Let me reintroduce myself to Delia, who's been popping on YouTube my last couple of years. Congratulations on your channel. I'm glad to see what's been going on for you. But let me go ahead and remind you, because I saw your show the other day, the Philadelphia Eagles fans, let's be real, and I've been following this for 9 years, Seahawks fans, etc. The Eagles fans this year have a little bit of arrogance to them, slightly, just a little bit, which is all well and good because of that record. I understand that. But one thing that you're missing is you haven't played us yet. And God knows if we meet in the playoffs, just ask Seattle what we do to big teams in the playoffs. Now, I give the Eagles all the credit in the world. I had Carson Wentz on my fantasy team, and, you know, Alshon Jeffries, and the defense is looking beastly. But Matt Ryan knows how to win in Philly. Matt Ryan knows how to beat the Eagles here in the A. And trust me when I tell you, we play in the playoffs, we're gonna be on that list that you like to add about the teams that you're worried about or competition, and we're gonna do it. But nice win by Seattle, Norb. I know you're happy. I got your little green thing. And before I go any further, let me give a special shout out to Pete Carroll's Gum. Delia, you being a female sports video maker, you need to sign up. You need to check her channel out and sub her up. Pete Carroll's Gum, big Seahawks fan, everything and all that. But tell me, Delia, how you doing right about now, girl?
I'm doing all right. I'm better than I normally am after an Eagles loss, because again we've had a very nice ride, and it was a little overly hopeful in that we'd only lose one game the entire season. And you're right, Eagles fans, we were getting confident. We had every right to be. And I was still realistic. I said Seahawks, they are still the threat. Seahawks and Rams are still a threat. There is a chance, not as high of a chance as before, the years before when we'd face them, but there is a chance we can lose to either of those teams. And so I was
Right.
realistic
Well-
about that, but more confident about it. So
Right. Okay. Well, and another question I ask, I mean, because I talk to Norb all the time. I know Norb is happy about the win. You know, I saw the video with your dad and everybody. That was an awesome win, man. And by the way, I look great in green. I look great in green. So you make sure you guys check out the video. Norb hit up a bet. You know, we've done some bets and collabs throughout the years and stuff. And then I got a signed little card by Norb, so I appreciate it. And I got the little green thing and everything. I had it in reverse, but my basic sports question is Seattle and Philadelphia. How far do you two guys think your teams can go in the playoffs, realistically speaking? And from an Atlanta perspective, would you want to play us in the playoffs, and how do you see us moving forward?
I'll let you answer that one, Delia.
well, I mean, I'm obviously facing being very nervous, and they've already beaten us. So they've proven they can do it, and they're a more experienced playoff team. Atlanta, they're also a threat, but they're also known to choke in big games.
Oh, she said it. She went there.
I gotta keep it real. So.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Right. Well, let me ask you this, Billy. When was the last time the Eagles made the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean,
I just want to know, have the Eagles won a Super Bowl yet? Just answer that question, please.
we're working on that. We have a championship from 1950. You know, we're working on adding the official Super Bowl ring. Okay?
With all due respect, the Eagles, had their moments in the 80s and the 90s, and pretty much since Matt Ryan has been in the league, the Eagles haven't done anything. I'm just glad, honestly, for you, for one thing, for your time on YouTube and a loyal fan, that you actually get to experience a winner so far. But you got to finish the drill, sweetheart. You got to finish the drill. And for that comment, if you make the Super Bowl and you manage to let it get away, Sportsline will remind you.
I'm sure you and many others will. So that's the nature of fandom.
Well, Sportsline, Yep.
Yeah, great to see two top YouTubers doing a collab, and it was great seeing you guys the other day. And I wish your team's the best moving forward, but both of y'all could be in our way down the road, so beware.
Hey, it could be a big old bird bloodbath at some point down the line in these playoffs. So, let's find out. Hopefully, we're all smiling because we're all in the dance. I would enjoy actually seeing that.
And the Falcons own both birds. The Falcons own both of y'all. You guys have a good night, y'all. I'll be in the chat listening to the rest of the show, guys. Delia, it's good hearing from you again, girl. Keep it going.
All right. Nice talking to you, David Slita. All right, thanks for calling, man. Well, he's not lost a step, has he? He came in swinging, and he wouldn't stop.
Hey, man, I swung back, and he didn't like it.
What comes around, goes around. Or it goes around, comes around. Anyway. Let's take another one here. Let's go to the 646. This may be another friendly name from the past. Let's see what we got. Is this who I think it is?
You bet. Norb, Philadehlia. What's up? What a game on Sunday night. How you guys feeling?
I'm doing good. I don't know about Delia, but this is Gangrene David, Jets fan, always a regular loyal caller, YouTuber himself. Had a big win himself. Congratulations, your Jets got it done against KC. KC spiraling down out of control in a crash course for the ground. It's not looking good. But anyway, yeah, what's on your mind here tonight, David?
First of all, let me just start out by saying that I'm already starting to make my highlight video for the season, and I'm starting out by incorporating all the videos where everyone predicted the Jets go 0-16 and tank the season. But now going into the game, I have questions for both Norb and Delia. I'm going to start with Philadehlia. Delia, you said that Carson Wentz was going to go into the game calm, cool, and collected, dropping bombs to his receivers, but it looked like he was getting bounced around. I think the offensive line struggled, missing key blockers. Some of the Seahawks defensive linemen went past the line of scrimmage unblocked. What happened to Carson Wentz? What happened to that high-flying Eagles offense that used to put up about 30 points per game, put up, I think, over 30 points in the last 4 games? You guys just put up 10 after Carson Wentz had a little bit of a rough night, getting hit a lot, getting sacked a few times. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a few things. I've kind of addressed a few of them, but I'll graze over that again in that, I mean, Seahawks brought it. Like, Carson got hit way more times than I've seen him in any other matchup this season. So, again, you bring the pressure. That's going to make it harder for Carson Wentz to do his job. Now, the coaching-wise, we came out really conservative, and the offense wasn't being as aggressive, trying to attack the secondary. And then on top of that, you know, first half, I don't worry about that. If the offense starts slow, I'm usually like, yo, man, it's all good. As long as we have halftime, Carson Wentz is going to get his act together. We're going to come out second half and turn things around, just like we did in that Cowboys game. And after the half, Eagles were set. They were on pace to do what they normally do. They drove down the field. They were in scoring position to tie it up. And Wentz is there. He's making the play and fumbles it into the end zone. And there goes that tie score. Instead, we get the ball back to Seattle. And that right there shifted things for the rest of the game. And Wentz was the one that was accountable for that error. So that might have shook him up a bit. But even so, he was still able to make some key plays, and you know, that one drive, and I think it was in the fourth quarter, where he was throwing that bomb, you know, and we were able to score, but it came down to that moment and a few other just kind of key plays or key no challenges or key flags that just kept us away from that win, from getting back to what we normally do. So, you know, lesson learned. I'll tell you this. We see the Seahawks again, Wentz will not be fumbling in the end zone, I guarantee.
Oh.
He will be scoring that touchdown, guaranteed.
Confidence. I like that. But I like the confidence, and Carson Wentz was put to the test. So now, Norb, my question for you is, I have 2 little scenarios for you. Pre-game, we were talking about how you were nervous going into this game, and really the defense was banged up, and the Eagles' offense was soaring before this game. Were you more concerned about how the defense was going to play out, or were you really relying on how Russell Wilson was going to put the game in his hands and really help the Seahawks get into this game?
I was nervous about both sides of the ball, to be honest with you. Pretty much what had to happen to get the win, as I predicted last week, and Delia knew in the sound of my voice that it sounded almost desperate, because I'm saying we're going to have to do something we haven't done all year. We just play 4 quarters of football. We're going to have to get turnovers. We're going to have to get to Wentz. These were all things that I didn't know how much of a chance we had in doing that, because Philadelphia had been so good so far, and we had not done 4 quarters of good football. We've always started out slow. I don't think we've ever scored a touchdown in the first quarter. Philadelphia never gave up a touchdown in the first quarter, so the odds were not in our favor of being able to do what I thought we had to do. But we did what we had to do. We scored a touchdown for the first time in our season in the first quarter, and they gave up a touchdown in the first quarter of the season. So just to, lesson learned, anything is possible, especially with the Seahawks in December, because we are one of the best teams in the league when it comes to playing December football leading up into the playoffs. And you want to be playing hot in December, because that's when you make your money. That's when you get the playoff roll, the momentum. You don't want to start hot and fizzle out. You want to start off, stay in the game, and then in the fourth quarter, of the football season, ramp up for the playoffs so you're on fire. Anyway, so that was one of the things. We got to Carson Wentz. We got the turnovers. We didn't turn it over. And really what I was most nervous, I think you guys asked me what was I most afraid of, and that was, could we stop their run attack? And if we didn't, I thought it was going to be a long day. But fortunately, our front seven did a really good job of keeping them in check. And they got yardage, but I think we kept you guys to under 100 yards, which nobody's done all season, if I'm not mistaken. So those two things were huge accomplishments. And I think that changed the game plan for Philly and took away a major part of their offense. And I was just so proud of our boys being able to do that, because it's just not been done by anybody this year to them. So it was cool to see, our defense stepping up and our D-line, our front seven, just tearing it up, especially Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner is, hands down, undisputed best middle linebacker in the NFL. He should be going to Kenton someday, but he's an all-pro, Pro Bowler, and if you haven't been paying attention, you haven't been watching enough football, because Bobby Wagner's a real deal. So anyway, that's my take on what I was worried about and what we would have to do, and they did it. So I was pleasantly surprised that it worked out that way, because I was nervous for sure going into it.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean,
squirm a little bit though.
I was squirming. I was squirming.
Yeah, your offense played very well, and I knew your offense was going to really step up that game. So, congrats, Norb, on the win on Philadehlia. That shouldn't matter. You guys are going to the playoffs no matter what. Probably the number 1 or 2 seed. So, just enjoy the rest of the season while you can. We're coming off a big win, and we're 2 games out of the playoff picture. So I'm even excited to see what the Jets season has in store, considering the fact that now we got four big games left with Josh McCown, quarterback, and a lot of young talent developing on our team. So I'm excited, and hopefully you guys are as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in. I always enjoy those questions.
Yep. All right, man. Good to hear from you. Gang Green David, thanks for calling, man. We'll talk again soon. All right, good stuff there. Let's take it to, let's see, someone who's been on here for a long time. Oh, long time here, from the 470. Yo, who's this and where are you calling from?
My name is Blake, and I'm from Georgia.
Blake from Georgia. What's on your mind?
So, watching that Eagles game, I was pretty confident that after we scored in the first quarter, that we were going to have it, because I thought, since we broke that statistic that no one could score in the first quarter, I thought we brought down the confidence of the entire Eagles defense. Also, I think our defense played pretty good yesterday, and I want to ask you, Byron Maxwell played pretty good in my opinion. He only allowed like 4 or 5 completions, which is a lot better than Jeremy Lane. I mean, I know one was a touchdown, but do you think that Byron Maxwell is the answer? Do you think we should pick up a DB out of the draft next year, just for depth purposes, in case something happens to Sherman?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good longer term question. I think the short term is, would I take Lane or Maxwell? I would take Maxwell. I think Maxwell's playing better than Lane, at least from I've seen from the 2 games he's been with us. Is it 2 games? I think it's 2. Or is it 3? Anyway, he came in for the Atlanta game. 3 games. And but yeah, other than getting burned on that miraculous throw, I got to give credit. Carson Wentz on that play. We're talking about was it 50-yard throw, something like that? He's fallen down. He's got a 3-man rush. We got all these guys back. He's flushed out of the pocket, under pressure, and he's getting wrapped up and tackled. As he's falling down, he throws this, really it's a desperation throw, and I'm going, there's no way he's going to complete this thing. I look downfield, and I see Byron Maxwell standing there. I'm going, back up! The guy's behind you! And he lets it go past him, and he catches it for 50. I was like, that should have been game over. If we would have stopped him there, I think the momentum was over, and instead, of course, a few plays later, he gives up the touchdown. Other than those 2 plays, I thought he had a very good game, not just in pass defense, but even in tackling and just overall defense. I thought he did a good job. So, yeah, I would take Maxwell at this point. As far as long term, we got to see what's going to be up with Sherman. We still got Deshaun Shedd healing up, so there's a lot of pieces we can play with. So I'm not quite sure if we need to go as far as drafting, but I don't know how long these guys are going to be with us. This is just a short-term thing, but we'll see. But we got a lot of young guys coming up, so I'll worry about the draft after this season is over. Right now, I'm just focused on getting to the playoffs and 1 game at a time and all that business. But that's my take anyway.
Well,
All right,
Maxwell
and I have a
has
question
little
for Delia.
personal familiarity with this team too, which might have, sometimes players like that step it up even more against former teams just to kind of shove it in their face. So that helps too.
You had a question for Delia?
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up?
The Eagles have only beat one team with a winning record this season, and that was the Panthers, who look like they're not that great of a team anyway. What are your concerns going into the Rams game?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, my concern is just kind of the lack of routine, and they're kind of shaking up their week in that, one, they're facing their first loss since week 2. Secondly, they flew that night after that loss to Los Angeles, and now they're going to be out here all week, living out of their suitcases, getting distracted by all their friends and celebrities that are here in LA. So there's definitely a little shakeup happening with their normal routine, which, as you know, for athletes, routine is very important. Focus is very important. So I really hope, I trust Carson Wentz. He's a very focused type of guy. Like, last time they were in LA, I stalked them at their hotel room. So everyone said, no, Carson Wentz, once he's there, he stays in his room and doesn't leave. So whereas you see all the other players, they kind of go out and kind of have dinner or do whatever. But like Wentz, I trust him in being able to stay focused that long in a city of distractions. But I hope he can make sure the rest of the guys stay focused and are able to regroup after a big loss. And now they face another tough team that's, on par with the Seahawks right now. So that's a big concern. I'll be, a little more nervous now that we finally had another loss, but still confident in this team that they'll be able to, play hard. And they played really well in LA last time. And, people like to talk about the whole, you haven't played a team with a good record. We played the Broncos when they were ranked the #1 defense in the NFL, and we scored, I forget what the final score was, but we just put touchdowns and touchdowns on touchdowns against the #1 ranked team in the NFL, or #1 ranked defense in the NFL. So to me, records say they'll give you some part of the story, not the full story. And with the Seahawks, they have a winning record, and we could have beaten them. Like, there's no doubt, I think we can all agree. A few key mistakes that the Eagles made, if Wentz doesn't fumble in the end zone, we win that game, basically, in my eyes. So I think there's a few key moments that prove, as long as the Eagles can clean up their act and not make those mistakes and, just play their normal game, they can beat any team in the NFL. So
when I was watching the game yesterday, there was a commentator that said this would be their first taste of a playoff game, and I agree. They didn't do very well. Say they lose this game to the Rams and they drop down to a 3rd seed and they weren't at home, you think the Eagles would be able to do well since they're such a young team?
Let me ask you this. You watched this game last night, and do you think the Eagles could have beaten the Seahawks team?
After Carson fumbled the ball and it was a touchback, I thought it was over at that point.
But let's say Carson doesn't make that mistake.
There were a few mistakes they made that could have been cleaned.
I think the bottom line here is that, line these teams up, 7 times. I bet it's going to be a pretty close. One team is 4 wins, the other gets 3. I did. I saw, if was that throw to, was it Aguilar who was open on the right side, heading down the right sideline, wide open. If he hits him, that's a touchdown in the first quarter. He missed it. No, got no points out of the deal. Football is like that. Football is like that. There's a lot of, you got to have all the coaching, you got to have the players executing and all that stuff. And at a certain point, all that stuff balances out to how the teams measure up, and then you throw a little bit of luck in there. There is always a little luck involved in those close games, and that could decide the difference between a momentum swing that results to 2 scores, or it could swing it the other way, and the other team takes over and just completely dominates. So I think it is a pretty slim margin between 2 very good teams, and I personally think the Eagles can take care of the Rams next week. I'm hoping that they will.
Me too.
But I could also see if they lose 2 in a row, there's some confidence that could be shaken by a second-year quarterback, by some of the other younger people on the team. It's going to take the veterans to kind of keep those guys stabilized and not lose composure. But, that's the thing, is when you've won 9 straight and you get a loss, it is a little bit of a slap in the face. But I think what they say about this is the first taste of playoff football is that you have to go through some adversity to kind of get a little thicker skinned. And maybe this is the kind of loss that, as Delia said earlier, maybe makes this team a little tougher down the road. Hopefully not against us if we do play you again. But, it might just be the thing that they needed, as opposed to just coasting into the playoffs and then suddenly not being ready for the big, competition. So anyway, it was a great game, and I'm looking forward to a close, exciting one next week with the Eagles edging the Rams next week. So, let's keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes. But thanks for calling, man. Appreciate the questions. Good questions there.
All right, thank you for having me.
You bet. Go Hawks. All right, let's see here. Let's take another one from this, holding on for a long time, from the 732. What's up? You're on with NorbCam and Delia. Who's this and where are you calling from?
I'm Thomas, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
Thomas from New Jersey. What's on your mind, Thomas?
Not much, man. Just about that dub. I'm happy about that. Now, Delia, you said that the Eagles were not attacking the secondary as much as they said they were, or something like that. I forget exactly what you said, but looking at the stats, Carson Wentz went 29 for 45 passing attempts. So, I mean, that passing, and he had 327 yards passing. So, I think that's a lot, but I don't get really what.
Yeah, I was mentioning the first half, especially the first quarter. They were playing very conservative, and they weren't really attacking like they did in other games. Second half, they started, obviously they had some catching up to do. That's when they started throwing more and making those, more aggressive attacks. But again, I think they started out a little slower than I'm used to.
Yeah. And Norb, I have a question for you.
Yep.
With Mike Davis having a pretty good game last night, do you think that will affect the whole running back situation that we have right now?
I love Mike Davis. I love that guy, man. I'm totally excited about it. I think he's a game changer. He came out the first time against Atlanta coming off the practice squad, and he was doing some really good things. Statistically, it wasn't all that great because he was in for such a short time before he got hurt. So then he was out the next 2, but then he came back again last night, and he was doing some shake and bake moves. He was running over guys. He was catching the ball. He was doing some really good things. And I think also we have the line configuration that we've been wanting for a while. Everybody's finally getting healthy. We had Luke Jokel in there now. Dwayne Brown's anchoring the left side. We got Britt in the middle. And if Eddie... Oh, Lord help him with the false starts. But, if Eddie's coming around and, we got Posick on the right, the rookie doing a good job. So I think this combination of this line now, along with Mike Davis, I'm really excited. I feel like I had said before that we're not going to find a running game by the end of the year. I may eat my words there. I think that this may be the guy who gets us jump-started. And I'm not going to say he's going to be Marshawn Lynch or anything, but he could be the guy who turns our backfield into something where we finally have a runner back there. We've been searching for somebody to step up, and nobody's really stepped up, and I think he's the guy. You get him, McKissick flying around like the road runner on the outside, mixing a little Thomas Rawls for good measure. Man, I'm excited about this going forward because I think you got to be able to run the ball when you get into the playoffs. Right? Don't you agree, Delia? You got to have that running game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely need balance there. And another thing about this win is like this is your big confidence boost going into this December, into the postseason, where, I mean, all eyes were on the Eagles. We were the best team in the NFL according to our record, and y'all handled business, did what no other team could do. So this is definitely going to boost up those players that may have been a little bit, you know, not underperforming. I think this is going to give them the confidence they needed to be like, hey, we got this, you know. So that's exciting for you guys.
Well, and I think our defense was a little pissed. I think they felt a little disrespected because everybody was saying, and even me to a degree, that without Sherman, without Averill, without Cam Chancellor, that, you know, we were just not going to be as dominant. And I said it myself. I said it's going to be a shootout because our defense is going to keep the score down, and I was wrong. You can quote me on that. NorbCam said he was wrong because I did not give our defense enough credit that we could hold the Falcons to under 20 points. I said we would have to, you know, we would not be able to hold them under 20. We held them to 10. And that is saying a lot. Granted, we had a little luck of the ball here and there, a lucky call here or a favorable call here and there, but that's how it goes. Hey, believe me, we have been on the wrong side of calls the entire season, so we know how it feels. But anyway, all that aside, our defense really rose up, and to keep the Eagles to 10, that's a huge feat. Nobody's done that this whole season, so it was a lot of accomplishments.
I have one more question for Delia. Now, if you guys end up beating the Vikings in the race for top seed, you guys think? Did you guys are 4-2 away? Both of your losses come from the being away during your games. You think you get that home field advantage? You guys have a really good chance to make it to the Super Bowl and end up winning.
Oh yeah, if we have home field advantage, dude, that's part of the reason why we lost last night. You know, having to play the Seahawks, who are already tough in themselves. At their home stadium with the 12s, who are, you know, the loudest in the game. Like, there are a few plays where I could tell that, you know, we didn't get the snap off like we normally do because, you know, there's sound, you know, the sound they couldn't hear in the stadium. So it's those subtle things that can affect the outcome of the game. And I know if playoffs are home in Philly, game over. I mean, this city is hyped, and they are ready. We feel something magical. It's going to be a whole new level of energy that they've never seen in Philadelphia. So I am hoping that we get that opportunity because that will really make it a little bit easier in having that slight advantage against our opponents going into the playoffs and hopefully, you know, making our way through.
All right, well, thanks for your call, man. Good questions right there. We'll talk to you soon. Go Hawks. All right. Before I take the next one, so Delia, I know that you're in LA, so that huge game between the Rams and your Eagles is coming up. So you got some big plans going on for that game, don't you?
Oh yeah. So I was telling Norb earlier that I'm after the loss today, I've already switched into game planning mode for the Rams because we have a whole weekend of festivities. So if there's any Eagles fans watching and you're going to be at this game in LA, Friday night I'm hosting a huge YouTube collaboration at YouTube Studios. So if you guys want to be on one of my videos, be on a couple, you know, E-Rock, Fourth and John, they're going to come out. So if you want to be on some of the Eagles YouTubers channels and be a part of something and hang out with some cool Eagles fans, hit me up. I just need a name and email, and you're invited to YouTube Studios. And then Saturday we have a huge pep rally happening in Santa Monica, and then Sunday I'm going to be at the Santa Monica Pier starting at 7 a.m. for one of the Green Legion tailgates, and then I'm leaving there after a couple hours, and then heading to Lot 6 at the Coliseum. So those of you that are going to be tailgating at the Coliseum, look for me and my crew, Lot 6. We have already I think 30 cars that are going to meet up in caravan at once gates open. So stay tuned for my channel if you're interested in meeting up and joining us for any of the events this weekend. I'm going to be posting videos with all the details because there's a lot of details to follow. So subscribe to Philadehlia and make sure you get the notification so you know once the details are out so you can be in the loop. So hope to see some of you all there.
All right, and I think I've got your information in the description below. So yeah, check out her channel and look for the videos for you down in sunny California. Be part of the action down there. So let's take another call, this time from 510. What's going on? Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm DJ from the Bay Area, who you remember.
Oh, DJ, yeah, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Last night's win, I thought that it was a pretty even game, but the Seahawks just executed better.
Well said.
Yeah, that's true. We did execute very well. You know, we had probably one of our least penalized games. I hate to bring up the penalties thing, but it's been a bugaboo of ours all season. So to have actually a pretty less than average number of penalties was awesome. And yeah, we had some great plays by a lot of different members of the both offense and defense, making just really actually the tackling I thought was excellent on the defensive side. A lot of big open field tackles where, you know, normally you see Philly receivers catch the ball in space, they make a move and juke some guy out of his jock and then they go into the end zone. We made sure to not let those guys get those extra yards after the catch in most situations. So big moments like that can define a game. You know, keep them to a fourth and a field goal situation, or keep them from field goal situation versus them running down for a touchdown. So, you know, big teams got to step up and do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I really like to know people's birthdays for some reason. I study like all the Seahawks players' birthdays.
Okay.
Hey, Delia, when's your birthday?
March 7th. Is this like a horoscope or astrology? Are you going to read me my fortune?
No, I don't know. My birthday's in April, and Norb, your birthday's in September.
Oh, wow. You've done your homework. Hey. Very good.
Yeah.
Here.
All right.
I do my homework, and the Jacksonville game is going to be lit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's going to be huge. Every game, like I said, we are in playoff mode already. Philly, not quite so desperate, but Seattle, every game's a playoff game. So it's kind of cool. We're having playoffs in December. You know, what more can you ask for? So, yeah, no, it's going to be a great rest of the season. Hopefully we can keep pace, beat those Rams, and get into the dance. And we might meet these teams again. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Got any other?
I'm going to see you for that Cowboys game in Seattle.
Oh yeah, you're coming up for that. Yes, you should come join me at that at our viewing party. It's going to be a blast. We've been doing that every away game, so it is on Christmas Eve. So I got to make sure that that they're going to be having it, because Christmas Eve is kind of a tricky day because family day and all that stuff. But we'll see.
Tricky day, but
we'll see. If everybody wants to do it, we'll do it. So yeah.
Yeah, I hope they're able to do it because I love my Seahawks, and next year I'm going to be able to go to 2 games because the Seahawks play the Raiders in Oakland.
Oh, yeah. That'll probably be the last time. Probably the last time. So, yeah, that's some history to watch before they move to that palace that they're building over there in Las Vegas. A lot of new stadiums.
That makes me mad because the Raiders are my second team, and they're my dad's favorite team, so that makes me mad because I don't really like Vegas that much, and I'm never going to be able to see the Raiders again unless they play.
Yeah, that's right in your backyard. Now they're moving across to the other state, but yeah, I know it sucks. It's gonna be weird saying Las Vegas Raiders. It's got a weird vibe to it, but gonna have to get used to it because that's what's happening. So, well, hey man, thanks for calling. Yeah, and we'll see you maybe when you come up in Christmas. All right.
See you later, Norb.
All right, take care. Go Hawks. Yeah. All right, let's get another one in here. Let's see, from the 509. What's up? You're on with NorbCam and Delia. Who's this and where are you calling from?
What's up, NorbCam? This is Seattle calling all the way from the Tri-Cities area. What's up, Philadehlia? I've been watching both of you guys' videos for the last year. I know Slita from the Trash Talking Circle. But, hey, man, what a great win last night, huh?
Oh, it was probably the best game of the year. Maybe not as exciting as that Texans game. I'd put that one as probably the most thrilling game. But from a complete game from start to finish, I thought that was our best performance.
You know when we're firing on all cylinders when Blair Walsh is making his field goals. You know what I mean?
Oh, had to go there. I was wondering when someone was going to bring that up. Look. You guys are all hating on Blair Walsh, but look, he was 100% last night. He was 100% against the 49ers. He did blow some kicks against Atlanta and the Redskins, but outside of that, he's been pretty good. We just had a couple of, unfortunately, when he missed, it was in games we lost. But outside of that, he's been pretty good kicker. So, but I've seen some misses around the league. There was some missed field goals yesterday by, Matt, the Atlanta kicker missed something, I think, an extra point or something, so it's not, it's I don't know. Kickers are weird beasts. It's all in their head with those guys. But he's doing good so far. Let's not jinx it, right?
Yeah. And how about Bobby Wagner, man? That guy was the one that set the tone for the game, I think, on the defensive side. And that guy. What's the running back from the Eagles' name?
Well, there's two of them. There's Ajayi. And Garrett Blunt.
Wasn't there Banner or something like that?
Who's the other one? There's a third back that went in there once in a while. Delia. What's his name? Barner. Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the one that Wagner threw down. It was like a draw play or something. He just cut right through there and threw him down like he was a little kid. I love that play. That was a cool tackle. He didn't even leave his feet. He just threw him down and said, "What's up? Not in my house."
Well, one of the things I wanted to add too is that I know that our back was against the wall in this game because Vegas had us underdogs in this game, and I don't know what some things were said in the locker room that made us get this to believe in ourselves because we're that team, you know what I mean? We're that team where our back plays against the walls, and so. When that happened, I kind of knew that we had a chance in this game because they don't just back down like that. Doug Baldwin's one of those guys. Obviously, Russell Wilson's one of those guys. And so I think that's what really fired them up.
Well, we kind of talked about that, Delia, last week about the desperation factor. We knew that Seattle had a lot more riding on this game than Philly did. Psychologically, Philly knew that they could drop this game and really not lose too much in the playoff positioning. Seattle, on the other hand, every game counts doubly because of the position they're in. So, maybe there's something to be said about that. That desperation creates, a sense of urgency that, the Eagles maybe didn't bring to this one, So possibly that. They're human beings, so it's possible that maybe, again, that the play call, the conservative nature of the play calling was part of that. Well, why take unnecessary chances? Whereas here, it was like, we just need to ball out. We got to go from get-go. And I thought they did. I thought they started off with Wilson really started off, they didn't go 2-minute drill, but they started off feeling like they had kind of more up-tempo than they usually are. Start off with a read option on the first play. They never start a game off with that. And so it felt like they had a different attitude in that game. Like, we're going to let Wilson call the shot or take charge right off the bat. And it seemed to work because we got that opening score, and that set the tone right early. So, yeah, I think that played a lot into it.
Oh yeah,
yep.
That's me going. I can talk for days on the whole mindset of a player. It's all about mindset going into a game, and they were just hungrier and they needed it more. And our guys, they didn't shift their energy enough.
Yeah, well, Philadelphia, I got a little statement for you because I know back in 2013 when we went to the Super Bowl and won that. The game that I thought that we came together was when we lost to the Cardinals, and that made us step back and look at ourselves and like, listen, we need to get more serious instead of just playing around because we were a good team, and I think that's what the Eagles need to do. They need to get back into that mindset. They need to be like, okay, step back. Okay, we've had a good season. Let's not get cocky. You know what I mean? And that's what the Seahawks did back in 2013. So you guys do have a great team. You guys got a good defense. You guys got an awesome quarterback who I think is amazing.
Great running game too.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm not throwing any shit. But like I said, I think that's one of the games that please do me a favor. beat the Rams.
Got you.
All right.
I'm gonna go stop the Eagles at their hotel this week. Make sure they're putting in work. So I'll be on them.
Hey, Philadelphia, I forgot to ask you. Okay, so last time you were in Seattle, you made a video. You're going to say make a video of all the, all the places you went to see in Seattle, but you never made that video. So I want to think real quick, what do you think of Seattle?
Oh man, I forgot. So yeah, that whole trip, NorbCam, you saw me. I was like 6 months post kiddo, postpartum, and I was just a hot mess. And so I had all this footage, and I just did not have the energy to edit it. And once you don't edit in that time frame, the likelihood of it happening is, a lot slimmer. But I still have the footage, and I was like, ooh, maybe I'll have time before this game to, to bring some of the clips out or not. But it's still there. I have it, and I want to do something with it because it was such an amazing trip. So.
Well, what were some of the highlights? What are some of the places you went to?
So now I have more motivation to do it because now I know people are remembering. So playoffs, if people stick to the Seahawks, I'll post some of that footage before the playoffs.
Well, what were some of your highlights of your trip? Where did you go see that stood out from what you remember last year? What were some of your Seattle visiting highlights? What did you go see while you were here?
It was so amazing. That's why I was like, I really wanted to come back, but I just couldn't afford it this year. But the fans, y'all were amazing. Like, I've been to a bunch of stadiums, and I'd say most of the fans are cool. But you guys were like open arms, family. Like, yeah, we're enemies for today, but we're still homies, and I appreciate that. So shout out to the what was your friend's name? The one that does the bus, the party bus. Is that what it was called?
Oh, the Beast Bus.
The Beast Bus.
Yeah.
Like, I started there and gotta dive into enemy territory and see how y'all do. And so just interacting with the fans was amazing because you guys you're good. You have a respectable team and a respectable fan base. And I've been to a lot of stadiums, and I do not say that about all the other fan bases, Cardinals, but you guys are probably like the top as far as opponent fan base. And then, I just went to everything was walking distance, which was great because in LA you have to drive everywhere and drive in traffic. So I was able to walk to the water, walk to downtown, and I had just converted to vegan/plant-based lifestyle. So you had a bunch of amazing restaurants and food that I was able to eat according to those restrictions, and it was all amazing. Like, there was a pizza place that served like every type of pizza, like for non-vegetarians, vegetarians, vegans, gluten-free people. I was like, man, y'all got it covered. And coffee shops, there was some great coffee shops too. So there was a lot. I wish I had more time, but I'll have to make another trip out there sometime soon.
You will.
When the fun's
and we're only nice. We're only nice to the people that are not in our division.
What was that?
I said we're only nice to the people that are not in our division.
I see you.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the calls, man, and you made us some great points. So appreciate you chiming in as always, man.
Hey, good luck to both of you guys.
All right, take care. Go Hawks.
Bye.
All right, that was good.
Footage.
All right, let's see what we got here. Looks like I pulled up the 253 here. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Eddie. I'm a friend of Sam Dog.
Oh, Eddie, friend of Sam Dog. All right, Eddie, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, I will say, both teams played a very good game. Hey, Delia, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you? Hi, Eddie. And
I'm doing good. Yeah, that was a very good game the Seahawks played last night.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hats off to both Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz.
Yep, 2 MVPs going at it right there.
Oh, yeah. that Philly got a future. I see it for them.
Yay!
Yeah.
You got a question? You got a question for Delia?
Yeah. So how do you guys feel that you extended Alshon Jeffrey? Because I happened to see that the other day on ESPN.
Oh yeah, I love that move. You know, Alshon, when we first signed him, I was excited, but also a little weary because, you know, there was some. He's one of those guys that can perform or not, and there's the potential. But again, with a lot of the big free agency signings the Eagles had, we've had a lot of busts with guys that were supposed to be good. So, you know, there was a excitement but hesitation, and then just to see how he's been working with Wentz and what he's been doing, like, he's going to be a great player in Philadelphia, and I owe that to Carson Wentz being able to motivate these guys, and he seems just so excited to be in Philly. And when you have a player that's just genuinely excited to play for their team, they're not there just for the paycheck. He wanted to play with Carson. When you have that type of mentality of a player, you know they're going to perform under all circumstances. So that contract extension was a good move on, the Eagles front office part, because we need a guy like that around to make big plays. And we've already seen a really big impact this season just within his first year. So it's going to be a good combination with Wentz and Jeffrey. I can't wait to see it develop. This is just the first year, but as they keep playing, oh man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. I'm just glad we didn't see that beautiful thing too often last night. They didn't connect. They didn't connect all that much last night, thank goodness. But I'm sure they will with 4-year extension. Yeah. So they're going to be together for a while. So they're going to be tough. I'm glad we don't have to face them on a regular basis now. Although maybe playoff time we will, so we'll see. But that's a good move on the Eagles' part for sure. They're building it up pretty well over there. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, hey, well, I will say, offense played really good last night too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that was good. I got so happy when we put up a touchdown in the first quarter, because I know lately we've been having so many 3-and-outs in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, that was a sight for sore eyes for sure. So yeah, that was huge. I think that's the reason why we actually changed the complexion of the game, because getting a lead early made all the difference. If we're playing from behind to the Eagles, that's a whole different thing than when the Eagles have to play from behind. It makes them a little more one-dimensional as opposed to if they control the situation. So, yeah, getting off to an earliest lead, that's what we got to do every game from this point on. I mean, every team's going to say that. You got to get a lead early, but for Seattle especially, we got to get a lead early, and then we can really, have a little bit more of our way than having to come from behind and stress out for 4 quarters. I don't want a stress out game. It happens too often. Can't take it anymore. But
because that was a big test for yesterday, just like last year when we played New England.
Oh yeah,
in their stadium, but because I saw how the Eagles are on a big hot streak. Because it's because they're coming in our stadium and. This is, we got to play really good. We can't be turning the ball over.
Yeah, I think probably
really hurting us.
I think that game against the Patriots last year was probably actually a bigger upset because we were playing in Foxborough, in Tom Brady's house. Winning that game actually was even bigger because here, the Eagles coming to our house, we still have that home field aspect, but going against the Patriots and their plays, they're almost unstoppable at home. So the fact that we did that last year was huge. It's up there though, for sure. They're both great games, right down to the wire. Last year, down to the goal line, on the 1-yard line of all places, but wasn't quite as close here, but it could have been. It definitely was, could have gone as, a much closer game had not a couple things gone our way. So it's about time. We need a couple bounces our way this year. So it's been good. So, all right, man, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Go Hawks.
All right. Go Hawks.
All right. Let's see. Delia, you still got a little bit more time?
Sure.
Okay, all right. We'll keep it going. We've been going for about an hour and 5 minutes so far. Time flies when you're having fun. But we got someone who's been waiting for an hour, so let's bring them on from
our waiters in.
From the 971. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Norb and Delia. This is Juan from Philadehlia. I've called a couple times before.
Oh yes. How you doing? How you doing? And what's on your mind tonight?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to tell you, do you think we're going to win out, or do you expect any more losses?
Oh, do I think Seattle's going to win out? Well, I think, much like Philadelphia was looking at us and the Rams, we've got a tough schedule ahead, but this was obviously the first one of several tough games. They're all going to be pretty tough, but the next one is going to be tough at Jacksonville. You know, they are tough this year. Good running offense. But, I mean, as far as the rest of the season, I don't know. I have this feeling. I have a good feeling that we could run the table, man. I don't think it's a stretch to say we could do it. And if our running game with Mike Davis is for real, and I think it is, I think we have the very strong possibility that we could run the table. If that running game suddenly is now with us, watch out. We are suddenly back to 2013, 2014 form. So, yeah, no, I think we can. But it's going to definitely be tough against Jacksonville, against the Rams here, against the Cowboys, and I'm not going to even sleep on the Cardinals. Cardinals aren't much anymore, but you know we haven't beaten them in a while. So, or I should say last year we didn't beat them. We beat them at their house recently, but you know I don't take any great game for granted anymore. But I think we could take them all. Bring them on. We got this.
Well, I can say if we can beat the Rams and the Cardinals, we'll definitely be 6-0 in our division.
Yeah, not bad.
I also want to tell Delia. Delia, did you know you guys haven't defeated the Seahawks since 2008?
Yes, I am well aware of that. Well, I know it was 2008, but I know it's been. Before we were on here, I was asking her. I was like, man, like I know it's before 2010, but I didn't know the exact year. So 2008 was the last time we won.
That's almost a decade ago.
That's insane. Y'all need to stop being so stingy with those W's, okay? Let us get one every, 5 years or so. I mean, come on.
Tell you what.
I found that out through EDP, and even he knew that we were going to beat him.
That's true. I saw EDP's pre-game prediction about this, and he was actually giving the game to Seattle. As much as he trash talked, which I appreciated him doing his little trash talk thing vignette on our rap battle video, I did see EDP actually conceding that game to us. So, even EDP saw the writing on the wall.
He says that every
okay.
We're close to everybody, according to him. One of those, glass is half empty kind of guys, and so no matter how good the Eagles are, it's like they're still trash. So that's kind of
that. He's not a glass half empty. He's like there is no glass.
Shattered the glass.
Oh, that's what makes him so funny, though. Did you see our rap battle video?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I see all your videos.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
I mean, it was really good. I think it was the best out of the other two. But I mean, I was kind of hoping you guys would do the I love the way. No, I think it's that song. I love the way you lie by Rihanna and Eminem. But I mean, I think Lose Yourself is also good, in my opinion. So that was a good choice. And it was great. I liked it.
All right.
I like the song suggestion for future ones because there will be more.
Yes, I'm sure there will be. You had a question for Delia?
I do have one more. No, I just have another thing to tell you. Do you think we'll have another rivalry with the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo being their new quarterback?
He looks pretty good. He looked pretty good in his last game, obviously. Yeah, I mean, they're heading in the right direction. I mean, when you're that bad, there's only up. So the 49ers, I think, they've got a good coach over there, the former coordinator from the Atlanta Falcons. I think eventually they will turn that thing around. I think right now, though, it's going to be the Rams and Seahawks for the next couple of years, and 49ers will slowly start working their way back up there. But, hey, you never know. Eagles turned it around pretty quick, and suddenly they went, 10-2. But it took them, one season to go from, what was your record last year? Were you 500?
Something like that. I don't remember. I told you last year my head was spinning. I was a first mom, so I didn't pay attention to the fine details.
Yeah.
All I know was we didn't make the play.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, as far as the 49ers, we'll see. But yeah, Garoppolo is definitely a step in the right direction. He seems pretty good. He threw a touchdown against us on his second throw of his career. I mean, that's pretty good. So, they're on their way.
Yeah.
They got baby steps.
I can see a lot getting from them next year. So, but I just hope they'll be at home, man. Because right now we're undefeated at their stadium.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we haven't lost to the 49ers in like, I don't know how many times. 9 in a row or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, since the last Super Bowl season we won, I believe.
Yeah, 2013. So, yeah, it's been a while. But, yeah, hopefully if we keep that going for a while. But, yeah, they're going to eventually work their way back up. All right, man. Well, thanks for your call. Appreciate it always. Go Hawks.
Yeah, sounds good. Go Hawks.
All right. Let's go to the 951. What's up? Who's this and where are you calling from?
Yo, what's up? My name's Andrew. I'm from California, Riverside, California. How you guys doing? What's up, Norb? What's up, Delia?
What up, Riverside?
What's on your mind, man?
Well, first I want to get into something, but I wanted to say first, I believe there was a Falcons fan on here earlier talking about how I know he said he owns the Seahawks, but he owns the Eagles, but didn't we beat the Falcons last year? And didn't we beat them in the NFC Championship game in 2004?
We did. We beat them. We beat them at our house, and then we did lose to them in the divisional round in Atlanta. So I know.
No. I'm an Eagles fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Okay, I thought you were talking about. Okay, I didn't know which team you were trash talking. Okay, so one of your people, Delia.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. Finally, we got one
Eagles
Philly
Nation.
on here.
Yeah, there hasn't been any Eagles fans on here. But about the game last night, I think the Seahawks are a good team, and obviously, I don't know what it is, but they always seem to have our number. NorbCam throws a lot of shade at us, but I kind of recall a second-year quarterback for the Seahawks who didn't have a Super Bowl. They went on that year to win a Super Bowl. So, you never know. But Seattle always seems to have our number no matter what it is. When we were 9-3 a couple years ago, I remember you guys came to our stadium, beat us. I think that was your Super Bowl year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's just a tough game last night. We just had too many mistakes, I think. I think it should have been closer. I couldn't believe we didn't challenge that lateral pass. I think that was a game changer. I know you guys talked about the fumble, but, that lateral pass was crazy. What do you guys think?
Okay, all right. I've been hearing and seeing some chats about the lateral. Let's just set things straight. First of all, do not listen to those idiots on NBC. First of all, you do not gauge a lateral pass from the point where it's thrown to where it's received when the freaking quarterback is moving. Physics 101. If an object is moving and then another object is thrown from that object, it's going to move forward. That is basic physics. You don't measure it from the point A to point B unless he's standing still. Russell Wilson was running at probably 12, 14 miles an hour. So that object is traveling at 12, 14 miles an hour, and so it's going to move to a degree. What you have to look at is the angle of release from his hand. If it's at a 90-degree angle from his body to the sideline, it has to be that or back from that angle, which it was. If it's forward of 90 degrees, then it's a forward pass. It is not based on the location of its release to the point of receiving. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles were smarter than those guys in the booth to know that, and so that's why they didn't challenge it. It was not a forward pass. Don't buy into that BS. End of story. Did not affect the game. If they would have challenged it, which I don't know if they could. Could they have challenged that twice in that quarter? I guess maybe they could. It would have been a dumb challenge. They would have lost another timeout. Okay.
I don't like them any. I don't like Chris Collinsworth anyway. Honestly, Sunday Night Football. I don't know. I don't really care about it. I just don't like it. I don't care for it. But that's not the point. I also want to ask. I wanted to tell Delia because. I was a little worried about it, like a little bit, but if we bounce back this week we have a huge game against the Rams. I know Norb's rooting for us because, he's trying to get back in his division, which Seahawks are going to be in the playoffs. That's not going to surprise me. They make the playoffs. I think it's been 5 years in a row. They're a consistent team. But, I'm interested to see how Carson Wentz is going to bounce back from something like this. I know it's early in his career. People say we haven't played, a really good team yet. I think we made too many mistakes last night, like I said, but, moving on. I'll be interested to see, I don't know about you, Delia, but I'll be interested to see how Carson Wentz handles this moving forward. And we got a few easy games coming up after the Rams, but that's obviously, this is going to be the game of the year. It's going to really have a lot of playoff implications. So I just want to know your thoughts on how you think Carson Wentz can respond to the loss last night, and what do you think we can do moving forward, because we need that #1 seed.
Yeah. Well, lucky for us, we have a very mentally tough quarterback who's a really great leader. So that, I think, I keep going back to that fumble in the end zone that kind of shifted the momentum of the game. I think a guy like Carson Wentz who goes through a moment like that, it's going to make him stronger. It may be frustrating in the moment in that game, but he's the type of guy that's going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And he's going to regroup and really just kind of push himself harder. And, based on everything I've read and players and even just people associated with Carson Wentz, like they say he is studious. He is just hitting the books. He is very focused. And so we are lucky, and I'm confident. I can tell just by his demeanor, the way he carries himself in press conferences, the way he's gotten this team rallied around him, the way, he's baptizing players in the locker room. It's like he's really controlling this team, and he's doing it in a high caliber way. So he's a high integrity type guy, and I know he's going to push himself even harder. After a loss, this is going to make him better, even better. So I'm confident in that. And going back to the whole call, I think another thing is we had done a challenge before that where, I don't know about you, but to me it looked pretty obvious, like the spot should have been a little bit more forward, yet we lost the challenge. So the refs, with a call that's so close, and NorbCam broke that science down for us. I didn't know that, so that keeps things up. But even if the science wasn't in play, I think it was Doug's kind of thought process was, well, if we didn't even get that obvious, spot of the ball earlier, like this one's an even closer call, like they're definitely not going to give us that, and we'll be wasting our time out. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
And for the record, just so I don't sound like a complete homer, you can hear me on my video that I said that's a first down, Philadelphia. I thought it was across the line. I was shocked when they said the call stands. I was shocked. I thought that was a bad call. That was a bad call.
Well, I think what it was there's not enough evidence to overturn it, like they said. I don't know about the angles and all that, but I have a question for you, NorbCam. I just wanted to know this about the Seahawks, because I know we talked about the Eagles and it's your channel and all that, but I just want to know something about the Seahawks real quick. Man, for a long time, Seattle, I know they're a December team and they're really good. They make that push. But these past couple of years, it seems like they get into the playoffs, they do good in the wild card round, and then when they go in the divisional game, it's been on the road for the last 2 years. They just, I don't know, they seem like a different team. I don't know if they have enough firepower when they get there, but, things just don't seem to go their way, and they can't really get past that point for the last couple of years since the Super Bowl. They just haven't been able to get home field. So I know that right now, December, I know they're doing good. They're going to win some games, possibly win the division, get a home wild card. But I really feel like, I don't know if, I'm sure you agree that it's kind of important for them to get a 1 or 2 seed sometimes, because they've been struggling in these divisional games.
I don't argue with you there. When it comes to the 5 years of playoffs, when we are at home, we have home field advantage, we make it to the Super Bowl. When we don't, we don't. So clearly we struggle to get back to that NFC Championship game when we're not playing at home. Now, why is that? Well, it's tough to win on the road, obviously. When we played, what's that?
no 12th man. So
well, we don't have the 12s. Yeah, I mean I think any team will say your advantage is always greater when you get to play at home. But when we played the Panthers, I was at that game in 2015 when we went to Carolina for the divisional playoffs. I was there in the stadium, and we were down 31-0 at the half. I mean, talk about a bad start. You don't get any more badder than that. But we fought back, and that game ended up being 31-24, if I'm not mistaken. And we almost had the most epic comeback in playoff history if we could have gotten an onside kick or maybe kicked a field goal instead of going for it earlier on. But that epitomizes the problem we've had, which is what we avoided against the Eagles, which is we always get down early and have to claw our way back into a game. So it was nice to start on top and then not have to give up a lead or have to come back from behind. So same thing against Atlanta. I think we started out last year 7-0, and then we had the opportunity, and I've talked to David Slita about this before, where we could have had a point. There's a point in the game where it turns, and we had a punt return by what's his name? Who's that guy who used to do punt returns for Chicago? Played for us. Devin Hester. We picked him up just at the very last second, to play in those games. And he had an amazing return that would have put us in the red zone. And I was convinced we would have scored, and we would have gone up by 2 scores. But unfortunately, it became a penalty. We got backed up to like our 10-yard line. We got a safety, and the whole thing just avalanched from there. So again, sometimes it takes one bad play, and it just messes up the mojo for the rest of the game. And that, to me, was the turning point, because we had it going, and we blew it, and it just suddenly, just fell apart. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess in a crazy scenario, we could possibly, if all of a sudden the top teams fall apart and we just went out, there's some crazy scenario where we could get back into a 1 or 2 seed, but it's unlikely going to happen at this point. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just focused on let's get our division, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can break that no home field curse. But got to get in first. We're not even in yet, so I'm not going to sweat about the second round. We got to get in to this game. I think we are into playoffs. I think we will, but you can't count anything right now.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
It is what it is. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really hoping we see you guys in January in Philly, because I don't think we can go to Seattle and win. Even in Philly, I mean, I'm confident in our team, but man, I gotta tell you, when it comes to Russell Wilson, I'm an Eagles fan, and I love Carson Wentz. I don't discredit Tom Brady, but you know what? When it comes to MVP, it's valuable, and I think without Russell Wilson, the Seahawks are 3-13 team. I think Bill Belichick is still a good coach. He can get that team somewhere. We have a lot of depth on our team, but the Seahawks, without Russell Wilson, I don't see a way they can win that division. I don't know if they can make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I agree.
have to give
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off. I think we're just saying that as you give Russell Wilson the MVP, and I agree with you. I know I'm biased, but I do think you have to look at, take that MVP away, and what do you have? If that team is suddenly substantially worse without him, then that is the most valuable player. And I agree with you. I wouldn't say 3-13, but I might go say 4-12, 5-11. I got to credit my defense a little bit more than that. But yeah, without him, half of these games we would have lost. And so, yeah, he's been carrying the load by himself for a long time. And I'm hoping that the rest of the stretch run here, some of the guys will step up and get a running game, and he won't have to carry so much, because he's getting tired carrying this team on his shoulder, on his back for so long. But glad to hear that coming from another fan. That's very cool. Respect to you, man, for saying that.
Yeah, man. Respect to you too. Go Eagles on Sunday. I hope we can pull it out. It's a huge game, Delia. I know you're doing a thing with E-Rock. That's awesome. I want to be there. So I gotta get in that. I gotta look into the description or whatever, and then try to get my tickets. I don't know if I need tickets or whatever to do on the pier, but I just want to be there.
Well, if you want the details real quick, I don't know. So Friday, it's open to everybody at YouTube. If you want to come do a YouTube collab with us, I just need your name and email. So hit me up in like Facebook Messenger or something to send me that if you want to do that. And then Saturday, there's going to be kind of like a pub crawl out in Santa Monica. So there's going to be different groups of fans kind of just roaming the streets out there. And then on Sunday, I'll be at the pier early, 7 a.m., and that one you have to pay for. It's $50 through Green Legion, but I'm going to be leaving there, 2 or so hours after it starts. and then I'm gonna head to the Coliseum, Lot 6, which is open to everybody. So you can, I recommend if you don't have a parking pass to just kind of like park kind of off in the outskirts a little bit and then just Uber your way over, because otherwise you're going to pay like hundreds of dollars for a parking pass.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be crazy.
You can just meet us in Lot 6, but what I'll say is this week, turn on the notifications for my videos, and I'm going to have like maps and details and like all that stuff. So we definitely need to meet up. We're going to be there.
That's on YouTube, right? YouTube notifications, Delia?
Yeah, YouTube notifications. I'm going to have videos explaining everything starting probably tomorrow.
Okay. That's good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably going to be, I'm most definitely going to be at the game. Just a huge game. I can't believe it. All these other teams doing good, like the Vikings and all them. It's kind of hard to, there's no margin of error, It's really hard. It's unlike the AFC. So it's a huge game. I think if we don't win it, we don't have a shot at the home field.
Ooh.
So.
Well, now somebody else's back is against the wall, apparently.
It's another playoff.
Well, no, it is. It really is. Think about it, guys. I mean, look, if we don't win this game, the Rams are going to have the tiebreaker over us. And, I mean, even though NorbCam wants us to win, I think you guys still are going to beat the Rams in Seattle. So I wouldn't be too worried because you'll have a tiebreaker over them. But, seriously, like, this game is, let's not forget we're Philly fans, and this is the Eagles. So we're used to losing. It is what it is. But there's just sometimes where it's like you really need to see how we're going to bounce back. Because Carson Wentz, man, he's good. He's a great guy. He's a good player. But let's not be wrong. He didn't play his best game on Sunday, so he needs to be able to bounce back. I know they're practicing in L.A. That's kind of cool. In Anaheim, right? The Angel Stadium. So we'll really see what happens. But yeah, I think our backs are against the wall. Not necessarily to make the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs. But to get the #1 seed, I don't know if we can go to, I'm not going to say it, the S word, but, without home field advantage. So we'll see. I don't know. But it's a huge game. Huge game.
Yep. Keeping it real. I like it.
I love it.
All right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, man. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, hopefully see you there, Delia. You guys have a great one, all right?
All right, you too.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right, coming down to the wire here. Let's try to grab a few more before our coach turns into a pumpkin. Let's see, right here. Let's go to the 410. What's up? You're on with NorbCam and Delia. Who's this?
So, this is Josh from Baltimore.
Josh from Baltimore. Are you a Seahawks fan?
I'm a Ravens fan.
You are a Ravens fan, but you're calling on a Seahawks-Eagles chat. But welcome to the show. I'd love to hear what you all thinking over there. What's on your mind in Baltimore?
I heard you guys were talking a little bit about Bobby Wagner.
Yep.
Best linebacker in the league.
Mm-hmm.
About C.J. Mosley.
Yeah. Why don't you?
About C.J.
Why don't you qualify him for me? What should I know about C.J. Mosley?
He has over 100 tackles this year. I think it's 5th in the league right now in tackles. He has, I think it's 2 picks. He's definitely a good coverage linebacker. Young, too. He's a good linebacker.
Okay. I'll have to check him out. I have not done the research as you have, so I'm kind of curious now to see how it stacks up. But, I guess I'm just going off of my limited eyeball test because I can't say I've looked at every single middle linebacker in the entire NFL. Yeah. So I'm probably leaving a couple guys out who are deserving of consideration, but I'm just putting in my own humble, biased opinion that I think Bobby Wagner is the best linebacker in the league, but
I probably would too.
Slightly biased.
I'd put CJ as a close second.
Okay, all right.
I'd put Bobby Wagner #1 though.
Okay.
I think so. There's a guy on the Ravens who I really like this year, Alex Collins.
Alex Collins, that's kind of a familiar name. Where do I know that name from?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we let him go for nothing. Yep. He was the last back in our running back group, and we just released him before the start of the season. You guys picked him up, and he's been tearing it up over there.
Ooh, yeah, he's killing it right now. Tearing the whole offense.
I can't even figure out what happened there, but I can only guess that you guys must have a decent offensive line because it makes no sense to me.
No, we don't.
You don't?
No, we do not.
So what the heck?
I really don't know.
That is, sometimes that happens though. You take sometimes you take somebody out of one system, right, Delia? You put him somewhere else, and the guy sucks. The guy sucks for you. He didn't suck. He just didn't really. Apparently, they didn't see something in him. And then you put him somewhere else, and the guy starts kicking butt, and you go, "Why would we let him go? This guy's awesome. We should have kept him." Of course, nobody's saying anything at the time. They're like, good riddance. We didn't really need him. And all of a sudden, they're looking good somewhere else. Like, dang, why did I break up with her? She was kind of hot. Anyway, but that's a good point. Alex Collins is doing great things over there, and it's mystifying. I have no idea why he's doing so well, and he couldn't even find a spot on this team. But you guys are in the playoff. You guys are in the playoff hunt too, aren't you guys?
Yeah, 7-5, 6 in the AFC.
Nice. Well, it's a good thing I didn't say that the AFC sucks because I almost did in the last call. No, you guys are hanging in. I think the Ravens are one of those teams that's kind of under the radar a little bit because everybody's talking Patriots, Steelers.
So we're not afraid of New England.
You're not afraid. You're not afraid of New England.
Teams. Oh, I'm afraid of New England so the Ravens weren't.
Oh, okay.
Because we go into we've been able to go into their house historically and be able to beat them. So
that's true.
I don't think we can. I don't think this team can do it, but historically we've been able to.
Yeah, that's a good point. How old are you? What grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
Oh, you're very well spoken, young man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
So, are you? It sounds like you put quite a bit of time researching your football stats.
Yeah. I'm really into football.
Yeah. Do you play?
No, I'm not very good at football, but I really like it. I really like following football. I've been following it for a couple of years.
But you're a student of the game. All right. So you're a Ravens fan, obviously, because you're from Baltimore. Do you follow any other team? Any other teams? Doesn't have to be your favorite, but any other teams that you just kind of pay close attention to?
I mean, I followed the Seahawks and Eagles actually for a couple of years too.
We know birds of a.
That's kind of how I followed. That's kind of how I found you guys' teams because I found both of your channels. So that kind of been following the Eagles and Seahawks for a couple of years too.
Oh, look at that! So, because of our YouTube presence, Delia, this young man, a Baltimore fan, discovered our teams, and you notice something in common. Birds of a feather flock together. Ravens, Seahawks, Eagles, and then we got David from the Falcons over there too. So
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you need to start your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, you should get your own thing. You should get your own thing going on. Have you done that?
Not yet. I think I'll start that maybe.
Start it up. What's up? Get it going.
All right.
All right. Any other last questions?
No.
And what the heck are you doing up at midnight, young man? You should be in bed right now.
I know.
If I was your dad, I'd give you a whooping right now. Get to bed, son. What are you doing? He's like on his phone under his sheets. The lights are out. And his dad's like, he thinks he's asleep, and he's like on his phone under the sheets talking to NorbCam and Delia. Their dad will walk. Who are you talking to in there? Why are you awake?
That's not too bad.
All right.
Exactly what's going on.
All right, man. Well, you let us know when you get that YouTube channel up, and we'll go check it out.
All right.
All right. Good luck the rest of the way, and who knows? Maybe one of these birds will meet in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be crazy?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
They've been there before. All right. Take it easy. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
That was fun. That was a very, very well-spoken kid.
Yeah.
I was like,
if I caught Luna chatting football at midnight, I'd be proud. I'd be like, hey, look at this girl. She knows her stuff now.
No, she's coming in with these stats. Hey, what about C.J. Mosley? He got 100 tackles and 2 interceptions. La, 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 la. I was like, wow. I can't top that. I haven't done my homework. All right, let's get a couple more here. Somebody been waiting on the line for over an hour. let's go. What is this? The someone from the 989. What's up? Who's this and where are you calling from?
My name is Mike, and I'm from Flint, Michigan.
All right, Mike from Michigan. What's up?
Hey, I was born and raised in Seattle. I've been a Seahawks fan since I was little. But my question is, what do you think we're going to do with our salary cap next year?
Oh, man. I think there's an underlying question hiding in there, which is, what do we do with Richard Sherman, who's on the last year of his contract?
Yeah.
That's what you really want to know.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that. I didn't want to even try to ask them that question because it's too painful to try to even look at it right now, because no matter how you slice it, it doesn't come out well. If you release him or you try to trade him, it sounds like your best corner you've had, Hall of Famer, he gets injured and then you trade him to another team. It looks bad. It's got bad juju all over it. And it just, how do you trade Richard Sherman, right? But at the same time, he's a $10 million or $11 million cap hit. That's a lot of money for a guy right now. We don't know what he's going to be when he comes back. So I don't know. What do you think we should do? I refuse to answer the question.
Maybe we negotiate the contract.
They could. I don't think he would. They got to get that money, and that sets a bad precedent. But other players have done it before. I mean, that'd be the nice answer, is that he just comes up with a happy number and everybody's happy. Maybe he loves the team so much he'd do that, but I don't know. That's a tough one. There's some tough decisions to make here. Jimmy Graham is another one. Talking about tough decisions. He is.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent. I mean, we really have no control over it. It's just a matter of does he want to be here so much that he'll just renegotiate and set up a new contract. But I don't know. Who knows what's in the players' heads? It does come down to business. But you'd like to think that he just loves it here. He would just play the rest of his career here and keep catching touchdowns in the red zone. But I don't know. He might want $10-12 million a year, and he wants $10-12 million, and Russ and Sherman wants $10-12 million. There's always so much money to go around, and we still got that offensive line problem. So, yeah, that's a tough one.
Same question for Delia too. The Eagles are going to be in the hole next year already. So what do you guys? Yeah.
What's your question?
The Eagles are in the hole already for 2018. So what are they going to do?
I mean, I haven't even thought that far ahead yet. I'm enjoying what the Eagles are doing now, and based on the outcome of this season, that's going to have me think of what they should do with what they currently have. I know they finally let go of Jordan Matthews, who they'd been holding on to for a while, one of our more recent draft picks, and I know they're willing to let people go. And to kind of comment on what you were saying between Richard Sherman and that whole ordeal, it reminds me a lot of, it reminded me of our GM, Howie Roseman. And he said one of his biggest regrets in his tenure with the organization is letting Brian Dawkins go, and there's always that weird period where you have these iconic guys on your team, and specifically defense. Sherman, he is the pulse of that defense, and that's what Brian Dawkins was for us. And you know what? They looked at the dollars and cents of it and let him go, but you can't replace, the heart and the energy that a player like that brings. And that's what kind of makes them worth the dollar value, despite their, injuries or despite the decline of performance. That a guy like that, you can't just let him go like that, because your team's going to regret it. There's going to be kind of that salty experience, and it's just, you just got to write it out. And so, there's certain players like that where you have to just do that. And I think, I don't know. I don't want to speak for your team, but that's my GM. One of his biggest regrets is letting an iconic defensive player who was like the heart and pulse of the defense just go because of, you know, money and age and that whole deal. So.
Yeah, I mean, I personally hope they can work it out with Sherman because I think he still has game left. Yeah, I don't know too well about how Achilles, you know, how tough it is to come back from those, but I know players have, and so I'd like to think that he's still got more gas in the tank, but I don't think they're gonna have to work it out behind the scenes because somewhere in there's probably a magic number, but is there enough money in the bank to cover all of it? You know, something's gonna have to give, and we've been given the offensive line not as much as they had back in like 2013, where I think we spent the most money on our line. So, you know, something's got to give. But don't bring me down, man. I'm still trying to enjoy this victory over the Eagles. Don't get me thinking about Sherman and his Achilles and salary cap. I'm not ready for that. That's for the offseason. But it's a good point, though. It's a good question. You still there? I think he's gone.
I think he said his call dropped.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for the call. That was a very in-depth, non-prepared question. Like, Delia, do you got your accounting sheet over there? We need the.
Not pay attention to that stuff anymore.
I don't have time to study the salary cap. I tried to do that one time. I went to one of those websites where it has the salary cap hit and this and that. I was like, my head starts spinning. I'm like, okay, let me just look at the next game. Who are we playing? Okay, coming down to the wire here. So let's see. Let's go to the 575. All right, who's this? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello? Anybody there? No? No.
Maybe that's that drop.
All right. Uh-oh. I think I just got him off. He's like, hey. Uh-oh, sorry about that. He's like hanging on for all this time. I lost him. Sorry about that, dude. You can try to call back. All right, let's go to the 702. What's happening? Hi. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Matt from Vegas. How are you guys doing?
Oh, good. What's going on?
Yeah, good. Well, the betting odds were like, you know, against us all night, but like, you know, we proved everybody wrong, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, but question for Delia is like, you know, what's the kind of like mindset that Eagles should have in order to prepare for the Rams game? Because like you got like 2 on the road games, and that's pretty tough, you know, even for a really good team.
Yeah, I mean the main mindset that these guys need this week is focus. Head down, focus. Like they have a working formula. You know, they got to stick to it. And they have to shake this loss off, you know, study, learn from those mistakes, but they really just need to lay low, focus, grind this week, you know, and just get the job done. So my main concern is the potential of distractions, being that they're staying in LA. But if they can keep their heads down, lay low, and just focus on work, focus on winning, focus on playing, they'll be good.
Let's see, what happened to him? Oh, there he is.
There you go.
There you go. Sorry.
It keeps on muting. It's all good. No worries.
Oh, yeah.
No. Yep. For Norb, like, what would it take for us to be 12-4, Norb?
12-4. We just got to keep doing what we did last night. The formula is rather simple, which is play 4 quarters of football. You know, start the game off like the way we did, with a sense of urgency. Let Russell kind of lead the way. But, you know, defense just kind of keep doing what they've been doing. But I think what can really tip things in our favor is, I've said earlier, Mike Davis. I'm really excited about him as a running back. I just think he brings something new to this to this offense a running game that we haven't seen yet. And I think maybe this is the guy off the practice squad, 3/4 of the way through the season. This guy could be the one who finally puts us back into, that playoff capability where we've got a running game to complement what Russell's doing. So I think he could tip the scales in a big-time way. I'm really excited.
It is, it came into a perfect time. Because we really need that running game going.
We certainly do.
Yeah, and Mike Davis is awesome, and and I'm really loving J.D. McKissick. He can be a receiver. Oh man, he's good hands. And one thing that I saw in that game, I'm taking notice of Nick Vanette. I believe speed-wise for a tight end, I think straight up speed. If you're gonna have him as an extra receiver, I think Luke Wilson is a bit faster. But Nick Vanette has good hands in catching. One, number two, blocking. You see that first play when Russell ran the ball and he was the one running and Russell was running behind him,
leading the way.
I was I said that's what we need, because they were helping the offensive line block the running backs, and that's important. And Mike Davis is also, it's a big guy. He can also pretty block pretty much, so that's good. If we keep Russell, if we give him time, he can light it up. And so I believe. I don't know. Russ we trust. We're having debates here. Even my coworkers, it's there's a bunch of Brady fans here, and I'm so sick and tired of him. And I'm before I want, if we do end up getting the Super Bowl, I was thinking of having, hoping for Steelers to go. But right now, you know what? I want him. I want him, man. I want his ass right now.
Oh yeah.
And whatever it takes, it should be an NFC champion this year. Whatever it takes.
I agree.
The Vikings are looking good.
Yeah, no, I really want that rematch with Tom Brady, just to wipe out that taste of Super Bowl 49. If we faced him again and we lost, well, we would lose. But I want one more shot before he retires.
I want one more shot.
I agree with you.
I would want it with the LOB, but what? Even this year, if we have that chance, God willing, I think Shaq Griffin kind of held his own, kind of proved that he can stand. But Maxwell, Byron Maxwell can he's got he was being left a few times, The thing it wasn't too much, but that touchdown by Alcalor was from Byron Maxwell, also leaving up, getting left behind too. So things that need to be cleaned up,
Yeah, but
it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. We came a long way from having no running game, no rushing, no offensive line. But see, now the offensive line doesn't seem to be a huge problem. It's good enough, it's not awesome.
That's all. That's all we need. We just need good enough. It doesn't have to be superior. It just has to be good enough. Russell will take care of the rest. I just don't want him doing 90% of the work. Russell can do 65, 70% of the work. That'd be just fine. But anyway, do you work in a printing press or something? It was so loud back there.
It's a water massage bed, and it's on because we have some customers. Usually it's off when it's not too busy. That's why.
A water massage. A water massage bed?
Yep.
That sounds
and
nice.
Massages people, and oxygen bars to help people recover from hangovers.
Wow.
That's what we do.
Okay.
So we relax people. However, I work at night, and that's why it's on. But I always try to catch up with videos, and if I call from my cell phone, you wouldn't pick up. It's a 206 number. But if with the work phone, it's 702. I thought you might pick up more.
Oh, I don't discriminate on area codes. I just try to get to the calls that call first. So.
Oh, but that's cool. But it's awesome. And and Philadelphia, good luck the rest of the way. We look forward to facing you again in the playoffs. And I really want that. Please help. Please beat the Rams. We need that. We need to get home field advantage. Please, Philadelphia, do whatever it takes. Feed those Rams. And for us, we need to do 12-4.
12-4.
I mean, 12-4.
It's possible. It is possible, man. This is the start.
And for me, I would rather do this. Okay, if we play whoever, Carolina or Rams or so, it doesn't matter to me. But like, need to be in that order, and then I'd rather face Philly, and I'd leave Vikings for last. I think that would be the toughest test, NFC wise. The Saints for me is also a big threat, but I don't know. It's just like how I'm feeling if we ever get that far.
Yeah.
But,
well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We gotta get the next one
first.
That's right.
Let's own the division first, one game at a time.
NFC is tough, but yeah, let's start with the first one in front of us. So Jacksonville next week. Let's get it done, baby. Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Go Hawks, baby.
All right, go Hawks. All right, and there he goes with his water massage bed or whatever that he's got over there.
Those right now. That sounded nice.
I know. All right, let's go with Central Washington. I know this guy's been hanging on for a long time. What's up? This has got to be Anthony D over there in Yakima, Washington, right? Is this Anthony?
You're right, buddy. Anthony D coming at you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Hang on. I spent almost 1 hour and 40 minutes trying to talk to you.
Your patience is amazing, but thank you for being on so long.
I saw you in the
I had to go to bed, but I just want to say hi and say a few more questions. Hey, Philadehlia, how you doing? It's Anthony D coming at you from Yakima, Washington. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Anthony D. I've been looking at you in the comments. I was like, oh man, we better get his call.
Oh, okay. Hey, my brother Quentin is awake. Do you want to say hi to him, boys?
Put him on. What's up, Quentin?
Hang on, I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth headphones off.
Okay.
Hang on.
This is only an hour and a half
Okay, you're on speaker.
No. All right, what's up, Quentin? What's going on?
What's up, NorbCam?
I'm doing all right. This is Quentin. This is Anthony D's brother. So, right, you guys are brothers over there in Yakima. How are things going?
Oh, everything's going great. We're kind of excited for the New Year's.
Yep. Holidays right around the corner. Football playoffs around the corner. It's a great time of the year, always in December. What'd you think of that game on Sunday? You guys watched it, right?
Oh yeah, we watched it. We were like screaming our butts off while watching that game.
Well, you got Delia here, and one of the #1 Eagles fans in the world. You got a question? Any question you can ask the Delia here? You got an opportunity to ask her a question. What do you got?
So Philadelphia, how's that game anyway?
How was last night's game for me? Well, it was.
Yeah, you.
Wasn't the outcome I was hoping for, and I was staying hopeful. Even first half, I said give Wentz halftime, and I saw the magic starting to happen again, and then there was that key mistake that just kind of took it all away. And after that point, I didn't know what was going to happen, and well. We got a little dose of reality. So that's what I'm feeling. I'm cool with this loss. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just like, all right, back to reality. The Eagles do lose games. It was nice to be in my little cloud. Like, I was floating on a bubble, like, week after week, and y'all just popped my bubble. I'm back. I'm grounded again. Thanks. Now I'm not flying high. But I'm still excited for the remainder of the season and the postseason, so it's all good.
Well, I just want to say, as a devoted Christian, which I do believe in God, so praise Jesus. I just want to say I'm proud of your team for trying to do their best to beat us. I know you guys were desperate to beat us because you're the #1 team of the NFL. That's all I got for that.
All right.
All right. Well, Carson Wentz is baptizing players, in the locker room this season. So.
Is that for real? Is that for real?
No, that's for real.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, seriously, there's like a whole religious kind of like, I don't know if it's Christian or whatever, but like there's kind of that.
I am a Christian. I am a Christian.
With our boys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. no need for hate. For people that hate it, they go, you lose, sucker. Me, heck no. I think Jesus, in my offense, wants him to be nice to people.
That's right. That's why me and Delia, we get along. We have a friendly little banter going on here, but in the end, we're still all good.
Yeah, I think that's what Jesus would want for a whole lot of people too.
I wonder if Jesus was alive. I wonder if he'd be a Seahawks fan or an Eagles fan if he was on this earth. I wonder if he'd have
That is so freaking hilarious.
I'm just saying. No, he probably wouldn't. He wouldn't take sides because that would be way too controversial. He said, I love all the teams. And he probably wouldn't play fantasy football.
Norb talk to you about me at all?
What?
Philadehlia, are you there?
Yes.
Has Norb talked to you about me?
No, I have not given her your background.
Well, me, about my life, I have always wanted to be a film actor, a singer, a songwriter, and all that stuff.
Kind of like Delia. She's all those.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's a songwriter. She was on that TV program on the Focus on the Fans on the Thursday night pregame. Yeah, she's famous, man. You have no idea.
Wait, you actually?
What'd you say?
I asked her if she's a celebrity.
Delia's a celebrity in her own right.
I wouldn't call myself a celebrity. I'm just a person who has made a lot of friends and enjoys just bringing good people and good energy together and good vibes to this world.
She's humble too.
And me, speaking of music, do you know what music type is pop and all that stuff? Can you guess what? For Philadelphia, can you guess what type of music I'm writing about?
Writing about?
Yes.
Are you writing some dope rhymes?
I didn't understand what you said. But that's fine. I'm actually writing songs about suicide prevention.
Oh, well, that's good.
Which reminds me, while listening to this conversation with other fans and stuff, I've been thinking that one day, all of us should get together and record a song for football fans that feel really down, are going through all that stuff. I think we should do that someday.
A mass collab for all the fans who are of losing teams. Because at the end of the year, there's only one team that's standing on top of the mountain. Everybody else are on losing teams. Yeah, it could be like a collaboration, like We Are the World, and they're all singing their part about how miserable they are. There comes a time when your team sucks ass and they lose because they fumble at the goal line.
Hey, Logic song. Listen to Logic song. I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feels like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? Woo!
Yeah, you know that.
On the low, I've been taking on. Say it again. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. I know that song. My kids listen to it all the time. So yeah, I know that's a good suicide prevention song out there. All right, hey man, I got to get to some other calls out here. It's been fun talking music and religion and football with you. Always good convo.
One more thing, Philadehlia. About making a song for suicide prevention for football fans. What do you think? We should do that one day.
Hey, sounds good. Down the line.
Well, hey, I got a YouTube channel. I got a Twitter. I got Instagram. I'll get you in touch so you and I can stay in touch too, and we both should figure it out. I want to try to do it before I graduate in 2018.
2018, okay.
All right, bro. All right, man. We got a couple more before we've been on this for 2 hours. My goodness. So we got to wrap this up. But thanks for calling, man.
I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
All right.
I got school tomorrow.
That's right. All right. We'll talk to you later. Go Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks.
All right. Okay, Delia. Got future collab going on right there.
I know, man. That's you're gonna put in some work.
All right, let's get a couple more. This is the most epic, longest show in the whole world. You could have watched a couple movies by now, but people are still on here. All right, who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Norb? What's up, Delia? It's Cody from Bonnie Lake.
Cody, hey, good to hear from you again, man. What's up?
Hey, I was just trying to get this out of the way. I think Russell Wilson should be the MVP, and I think it's kind of obvious. I think when you when you accumulate 83% of your of the total yards offensively, I think it's pretty obvious who the MVP is.
Well,
what do you guys think?
I won't disagree with you there. I'm sure Delia's got a slightly different opinion on her pick for MVP.
Pretty obvious. So strong words, some confidence. Yeah, I'll give you. He's good, and he's always a candidate, but can't ignore the magic that you see with Carson Wentz. Yeah, he made some uncharacteristic mistakes last night, but you know it's only going to get better from here. So you already know how I feel.
That's true. Norb, what do you think of Mike Davis? I think we finally found our running back after the sixth attempt. I think we finally found him.
I think so. You know, I mean, you don't want to make too much of a quick judgment on something on such a short sample size, but when I've seen, I like what I see because he's kind of does a little bit of everything. He can catch the ball, he can make the moves, he's fast, and he's not afraid of contact. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, beast mode. Had all those attributes. You know, Philadelphia's backs are a lot like that. We need to have that kind of a running game, and you know, maybe this is it. I'm gonna put my faith in that's gonna be our guy moving forward. I think he's gonna really turn it up. So yeah, no, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I really hope so, especially coming down in the playoffs in December. But Delia, what do you think of Jay Ajayi wise? Because I thought when they got him from Miami, I thought he'd be kind of the lead back, but I think Philadelphia has the best running back depth in the NFL with Blunt and Ajayi and Clement, but I kind of think that Ajayi should be the lead back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing what he's done already is like, I can't believe we got this guy. And he's just, our run game is just, I see power, you know, and it's something that I haven't seen from this run game in a while. You know, we've had some good guys, like I got love for Sproles, but, you know, he can't power through players the way Ajayi's doing. And it's really nice just to see a running back of ours just breaking multiple tackles. Like, we haven't seen that in a minute from our guys, you know, since our shady days, you know. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Like Brian Westbrook?
I couldn't hear that.
I said since Brian Westbrook.
You know, Westbrook and Shady McCoy, Sean McCoy. Man, I haven't said that name in a minute. But it's nice to see some balance there, and our team just being more well-rounded. So having a good run game paired with our, you know, with Carson Wentz and what our wide receivers are doing, it's exciting to watch.
Yeah, and it must feel nice as a fan getting Jeffrey on the 4-year contract that he just had over the weekend. That's gotta feel reassuring as a fan, definitely. And I think I saw Jay Ajayi was averaging like 6. Oh, at a point he was averaging 9 yards a carry, but I think he's averaging like 6.4 or something around there. But he looked impressive yesterday just because he was in on the pass game. Obviously, he had the actually I think it might have been Clement, but on fourth down when they just threw it up to him and he was wide open. Well, I think Ajayi could definitely be a huge part for Philadelphia's run.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. We're getting key pieces. You know, every new addition has been making an impact, and that's something that we haven't seen before with this team. We're the team known for getting, you know, big name additions, free agents or whatever, and they just go bust. You know, so it's nice to finally have the reverse of that. We get these guys, and they're actually producing and making an impact right away. So good times.
All right. Cool, man. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Stretching over here.
All right, go Hawks. All right. Hey, Dylan, we've been going for a long time. I think it might be time to call this a night before you start cramping up. And I know your baby girl's probably been...
I need one of those water beds.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Sorry we didn't get to all your calls. I know there's a few more hanging on there, but, you know, we did our best. but you got to do one thing, because we never did do an official bet, unfortunately. However, I think you do owe me something. So I think it's only right that you got to do the Seahawks chant to sign off this little chat right here.
All right. I'll give you that.
All right.
So go Hawks.
Oh, no. I say C, you say Hawks, so we go C.
Hawks.
You got to say with some enthusiasm, though. You can't Hawks. You can't.
We're gonna do that, and do we do it like a certain amount of times?
It says Seahawks. I know there's a delay, so it's, you know, we try to work this out over live TV and internet and all that stuff. All right, with some passion, like you feel it.
A little more, but I'm like, it's past 9:30, and people's lost, so I'll do it.
All right, Delia, here we go. Can I get a C?
Hot.
C.
Hot.
C.
Hot.
Okay, that'll do.
That was louder. I had a little more animated.
It was a little more animated. All right, we'll take that. All right, well, Delia, it's been fun. Again, I'm sorry you had to lose to us, but we needed this game, as you know. But Seahawks Nation is rooting. We are all Eagles fans this week, so we want you to take care of those Rams and put them in their place.
All right.
Sound good? All right. Well, good luck with the tailgate and all your plans. That was going to be a busy weekend for you. Thank you for staying on for like 2 hours doing this phone call thing, but it's been fun. So anyway, check out Philadelia's channel at Philadehlia, and you can see her link in the description. And I look forward to our next collab. The next time we play each other, we'll have to do this again.
All right. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Hopefully. All right.
Well, thanks for having me on. Shout out to everybody. Again, congrats. 12. Respect to your team. And shout out to the Eagles fans that were here representing. And, I'll see y'all in LA for the Rams game. And I'm ready to moonwalk out of that stadium with the W we should have got last night.
But you didn't. All right. You can check it out on the Rams next Sunday. All right. We'll talk at you soon.
All right.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye, everyone. Go Hawks.